More than 20,000 years ago, much of North America was covered by giant glaciers. Temperatures were far colder than today. The land looked completely different. Vast grasslands stretched across the continent, providing food for enormous animals. This was the age of giants. Columbian mammoths wandered across the plains. Massive bison grazed in huge herds. Ancient horses ran through open valleys. Ground sloths stood taller than modern elephants. Camel species and giant deer also lived across the frozen landscape. Where there were giant herbivores, there were giant predators. One of the greatest was the dire wolf. Unlike today's wolves, dire wolves were built for power instead of speed. Their bodies were muscular. Their legs were thick. Their jaws were incredibly strong, capable of crushing large bones. Every hunt required teamwork because their prey was often much larger than any single wolf. The Ice Age was beautiful, but it was also one of the most dangerous places any animal had ever lived. And in this frozen kingdom, the dire wolf stood near the very top of the food chain. As the Ice Age continued, survival belonged only to the strongest. The dire wolf was one of nature's most powerful hunting machines. An adult dire wolf weighed between 60 and 70 kilograms, making it much heavier than most modern gray wolves. Its body was muscular and compact. Its thick neck supported an enormous head filled with powerful jaws. Scientists believe its bite wasn't necessarily the strongest among predators, but its jaws were specially built to grip struggling prey and crush bones. Unlike fast-running wolves of today, dire wolves relied on strength. They hunted in organized packs. Each member had a role. Some wolves chased the prey. Others surrounded it. Then, together, they attacked from different directions. A single mammoth was too dangerous to hunt. Instead, they targeted young mammoths, injured bison, ancient horses, giant camels, and other Ice Age animals. Once the prey became exhausted, the entire pack rushed in. The hunt was loud, violent, and often lasted for hours. Even after the animal died, almost nothing was wasted. The dire wolves tore through thick muscles, cracked open heavy bones, and consumed every nutritious part of the carcass. This ability helped them survive in a world where food was never guaranteed. For thousands of years, the dire wolf remained one of North America's most feared predators. But a much greater challenge was slowly approaching, one that no predator could stop. For thousands of years, the dire wolf thrived across North America. Its world was filled with enormous animals unlike anything alive today. Herds of giant bison covered the open plains. Ancient horses raced across endless grasslands. Massive camels wandered through dry valleys. Columbian mammoths traveled in family groups, while giant ground sloths slowly searched for food in forests. To the dire wolf, these animals meant survival. A successful hunt could feed an entire pack for days. But the dire wolf was not the only predator in this frozen world. It shared the land with terrifying rivals. The Smilodon, better known as the saber-toothed cat, hunted with powerful forelegs and razor-sharp canine teeth. The American lion, larger than any lion alive today, ruled the open plains. The fearsome short-faced bear, standing over 11 feet tall on its hind legs, could steal kills from almost any predator. Competition was brutal. Sometimes dire wolves reached a carcass first. Other times, they had to fight larger predators for every bite of meat. Many scientists believe these deadly encounters happened regularly. Fossils found in California's famous La Brea tar pits reveal the remains of thousands of dire wolves, often buried alongside Smilodon and other Ice Age predators. These discoveries suggest that when large animals became trapped in sticky natural asphalt, predators rushed in for an easy meal, only to become trapped themselves. Today, these fossils give scientists an incredible window into the dangerous world of the Ice Age. The dire wolf had survived fierce rivals, freezing winters, and countless hunts. But soon, the Ice Age itself would begin to disappear. And with it, the dire wolf's world would start to collapse. Around 12,000 years ago, the Earth began to change. The Ice Age was ending. Temperatures slowly increased, and the giant glaciers started to melt. The vast grasslands that had fed enormous herds for thousands of years gradually disappeared. Forests spread across the land. For many animals, this changing world became impossible to survive. Mammoths began to vanish. Ancient horses disappeared. Giant camels became extinct. The massive bison herds grew smaller every year. One by one, the dire wolf's favorite prey was gone. Without these giant animals, finding enough food became harder than ever. At the same time, another hunter was expanding across North America. Modern gray wolves were smaller, faster, and more adaptable. Unlike dire wolves, they could hunt both large and small animals and survive in many different environments. Early humans were also spreading across the continent. They hunted many of the same animals that dire wolves depended on. With less prey available, competition became fierce. Every winter grew more difficult. Every hunt became more dangerous. Slowly, the mighty dire wolf population began to shrink. The predator that had ruled the Ice Age for thousands of years was now fighting a battle it could not win. Its strength was no longer enough in a world that had completely changed. The end of one of history's greatest predators was now only a matter of time. Around 10,000 years ago, the dire wolf disappeared forever. No one witnessed its final hunt. No one knows where the last pack lived. But scientists believe the combination of climate change, the extinction of large prey, competition with gray wolves, and the arrival of humans pushed this magnificent predator to extinction. Unlike gray wolves, the dire wolf could not adapt quickly enough to a rapidly changing world. For thousands of years, it had been perfectly built to hunt giant Ice Age animals. When those giants vanished, the dire wolf's future vanished with them. Yet its story did not end there. In places like the La Brea tar pits in California, thousands of dire wolf fossils have been discovered. These skeletons have allowed scientists to reconstruct what this incredible predator looked like, how it hunted, and how it lived. Modern DNA studies have revealed something even more surprising. Although the dire wolf looked similar to today's gray wolf, it was not a direct ancestor and was genetically much more distant than scientists once believed. It was a unique species that evolved along its own path for millions of years. Today, the dire wolf continues to inspire books, documentaries, museums, and even popular TV shows. Its name has become a symbol of strength, teamwork, and survival. But its extinction also reminds us of an important lesson. Even the most powerful predator on Earth cannot survive forever if the world around it changes faster than it can adapt. The story of the dire wolf is not just about a lost animal. It is the story of an entire world that disappeared beneath the melting ice, leaving behind only fossils, mysteries, and a legacy that still fascinates us today. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the Ice Age, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more incredible stories about prehistoric animals, ancient civilizations, and the greatest mysteries in Earth's history. Until next time, stay curious.